Picture or video?
Video.
Oh, okay. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay. All right, go ahead.
And it's better than kids because you're not just have to raise them. Just play with them. Good morning, everybody. Pleased to welcome everybody to Arbor Day 2016 in Rybrook in beautiful Rye Hills Park. This is really a wonderful event we do every year, and even though the weather is certainly not ideal today, I actually brought a picture from 2007. This is the last time we had Arbor Day in Rye Hills Park. It was much rainier and much colder. Everybody remembers we had a very brief ceremony, kind of right at the entrance. It was pouring rain that day. But the rain is important, and that's why we keep these traditions up, rain or shine. It's important to have these events every year, and Arbor Day really has a deep tradition, the planting of trees, and that really then over time developed into what is now Arbor Day. And since in the 70s, Arbor Day has been celebrated on the last Friday in April. So again, we like to keep this tradition up, rain or shine, regardless of the weather. And actually, we need the rain right now, so it's a good thing for the trees and the grass and the plants. Rybrook is in its 21st year as a tree city. Another tradition that we really like to point out. We're very proud of that. We're one of 21 communities in the state that have a tree city designation. 114 in the state and 21 in Westchester County. So we're one of the longer tenured tree cities in the state, and again, we're very proud of that. Just some real quick facts of Arbor Day, and the importance of trees. This is from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Trees, the net cooling effect of a young healthy tree is equivalent to a 10-room size air conditioner is operating 20 hours a day. 1 acre of forest absorbs 6 tons of carbon dioxide and puts out 4 tons of oxygen. That's enough to meet the annual needs of 18 people. From the USDA Forest Service, trees properly placed around buildings can reduce air conditioning needs by 30% and can save 20 to 50% in energy used for heating. And lastly, healthy mature trees at an average of about 10% they estimate to the property value. And again, that's from the USDA Forest Service. So you can see trees really have an important effect. They help with erosion, they help control erosion, help control runoff, they recharge the groundwater supply, and really prevents the sediments and chemicals to go into our streams and brooks. So they have an important place for everyone in the world, but certainly in Rybrook. We put a lot of importance on trees in our community. Now, without any further delay, I'm happy to introduce our mayor, Paul Rosenberg, who's going to talk a little bit more about trees and the Rybrook history of Tree City and of Arbor Day in Rybrook.
Thank you, Chris. Good morning, everybody. Before I get started, I want to recognize a few people that are here in the audience. State Senator George Latimer, former Rye-Town Councilman Mike Borelli, Trustee Susan Epstein, President of the School Board Jeff Diamond, and former Trustee Rick Busen. So thank you all for coming. A couple of facts about recent Arbor Days here in Rybrook. Over a dozen trees have been planted, including beechwood trees, Coosa dogwoods, weeping cherries, purple leaf plum trees, a yarwood London plane tree. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. We try to plant various types of trees. All where is Michael? That I'm sure are friendly to the environment here, and they're not. They're all deciduous trees, right, Michael?
Yes.
Okay. These trees have been planted in Beechwood Circle, Hills Point Lane, Garibaldi Park, Rybrook Firehouse, Village Hall, Pine Ridge Park, Rybrook Athletic Fields at King Street, Harkness Park, and here at Rye Hills Park. We really try to spread out the trees all over. Over the past decade, trees have been planted on Arbor Day in memorial of Ken and Andrea Berman, and that one was just a phenomenal event. We had gorgeous weather. It was like Ken was looking down on us from up above, and we had a huge turnout for that. Ken Heller, Donna Munich, Deacon Jack Munich, Ron Romano, and Harvey Schiller. I believe Harvey's was last year. Trees have also been planted in support of the families impacted by the tragedies that occurred in 2012 of Newtown, Connecticut, and the 2013 Boston Marathon. This year, we are pleased to be planting a beautiful willow oak tree in a prominent location here in Rye Hills Park. which has lost so many trees due to storms in recent years. At this point, I'm going to bring up Michael to talk about the tree itself.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I'd like to start off by saying thank you very much to the Highway and Parks Department. They do a great job every year in helping out with this event. So thank you guys very much. Every year we try to pick an interesting tree to match a personality who we're remembering. And this year we didn't have anybody. However, walking around the nursery, I did come across an interesting tree, which is a willow oak tree. It is actually a cousin to the red oak tree. It's not even related to an oak tree. As you see it here off on the side, it is often nicknamed the handsome tree because of its striking beauty. Its leaves are very similar to the leaves on a willow tree. They're about 2.5 to 3 inches in length. The tree will get about 40 to 50 feet tall, about 30 to 40 feet wide. So it will encompass this nice area. It is a very important tree for local animals, for the deer, the rabbits, and birds. In the fall time, it will give off a multitude of colors. When it changes over into its fall foliage, it will turn a yellow, a bronze, an orange, and a red color. So I am glad to be able to plant such a wonderful tree up in Rye Hills Park, and I hope everybody gets to enjoy it for the future. So thank you very much, guys, for being here.
One thing, I'm not sure when I mentioned who we planted the trees in memory of. I can't remember if I mentioned Paula Bertolacci, so I just wanted to mention, we lost Paula, wife of Ra, our superintendent of parks, way too soon, so I just wanted to remember her as well. At this point, I'm going to read the proclamation. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska and is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce life-giving oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife, and whereas trees are a renewable resource, increase property values, and enhance the economic vitality of the village and beautify our community, and whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of inspiration and spiritual renewal, now therefore be it resolved that I, Paul S. Rosenberg, Mayor of the Village of Rye Brook, hereby proclaim that Arbor Day is Friday, April 29th, 2016 in the Village of Rye Brook, and urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and Rye Brook's 21st year as a tree city by planting trees and supporting efforts to protect our trees and woodlands, and be it further resolved that on this Arbor Day, the Village of Rye Brook is proud to plant a willow oak, and I will not say the Latin name because I cannot pronounce it, tree in a prominent location for all to see here in Rye Hills Park. Okay, George, if you wanted to say a few things.
I had the opportunity to talk with some friends of mine about famous lines from movies, and we were trying to test each other to see how many we could remember. I grew up in the era of The Godfather, for which there are 1,000 great lines, keep your enemies close, your friends close, or whatever. But we agreed that Gone with the Wind had some of the best lines. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, tomorrow will be another day. The one that applies to this setting for me, as I look at this tree and what Michael said about it, was the line that Butterfly McQueen said to Miss Scarlett. He says, "I don't know nothing about birthing babies, Miss Scarlett. So I don't know much about how beautiful or handsome this tree is going to be. What I do know is that you have a terrific staff of people who plant these trees, not just on Arbor Day, but all throughout the course of the year. I do know that you have a terrific group of elected officials and appointed officials who care about this village greatly, and who make this a priority to make this the kind of beautiful village and friendly village that you want to live in, that you want to work in. That much I do know. And when I come to these ceremonies, I see a community that has a real attention to those things. And let me tell you, that's not true everywhere. There are a lot of places that don't put the time and energy and effort in. So you're to be commended. You're to be commended for picking out the willow oak. I will remind later tonight, as I said to a few people, that I will tell my wife, and it is a handsome tree, which will turn bronze and yellow. And she'll say, how do you know all this stuff? I said, baby, I'm just listening when I go around. A wonderful day. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris, Michael, thank you. If all the officials want to come up and
Come on, Alex.
Come on, Jeff.
Susan, Jeff,
Yeah, you. Go.
I'm not in the.
Are you planting the tree though? Come on, hold you first. Go.
Oh, okay.
Go.
You're not doing it?
Anybody, huh?
Sorry.
Sure, come on, Alex.
George, Rick, Mike,
Mike, you want to come?
No, I'm used to
David?
doing this already.
You could just put
wife
my
says
purse
show me
anywhere.
my-
I don't
David.
care.
David, Mike.
I have no hair at all.
come on, David. David, come on up.
I'm not wearing one.
Grab a shovel.
Alright, well, I guess it's going to be
Anybody take good ideas?
She's going to think I'm going to do work around the house if she sees me.
I'll grab the short one.
Yeah, Gail sees that, she'll put me to
Oh,
work. There you go.
yeah. I'm
All right, so we
afraid.
should all grab some dirt
Oh, real. The mulch.
or mulch. And go around the tree. There we go. Just
I'm
go
used
around
to
the
doing
tree.
this.
Yes, I see you doing it.
I know, that's why I say it that way. Oh,
There
thanks.
you go. And it is a handsome tree.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right.
Happy Arbor Day.
Happy Arbor Day.
Happy Arbor Day. Thank you, everyone.
Just right here, man.
No, that would be done.
I don't think